believe it. 31 yards to Nagori.
Here McFadden breaks it up the middle. McFadden, big play. He's going to go. Darren McFadden is going to take it all the way. 80 yards for the touchdown. Darren McFadden, and Arkansas strikes just that quickly.
He's going to field it back at his own 5. Joe across the 10 to the 15 to the 20. Adams at the 30, and here we go. Joe's going to take it all the way. The 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Arkansas. 95 yards on the punt return.
Here's the snap. It is low. The kick is blocked, and Arkansas covers.
Shotgun formation into the end zone. The pass is intercepted. Arkansas wins the ball game. Intercepted in the end zone. The Razorbacks have beaten the #1 team in the country.
It's time to dissect the game on the First Security Bank 5th quarter. We'll be talking Razorback football for the next 2 hours. This broadcast is brought to you by First Security Bank. Here are Randy Rainwater, Marcus Elliott, and Trey Schaff.
Good evening. Welcome once again to the First Security 5th quarter postgame show. Marcus Elliott, Trey Schaff. I'm Randy Rainwater. Trey is in the process right now of gathering interviews, players, coaches, so forth and so on. He will join us a little bit later on in the program. Good evening, M.E. Same song, second, third. I'm not sure
I was going to say how many verses.
Which verse are we on right now?
I don't know, Randy. This one, this is a heartbreaker today. I mean, you got to win this game this year. To me, you just have to win this football game. They didn't do it. Something has to change.
When I say same song,
second verse,
whatever verse, second, third, whatever verse it
15th.
means. Once again, we're saying the same things. Turnovers, 1 interception, 2 fumbles, and the last one extremely costly. And really, and in this case, if I sound like I'm trying to defend Taylon Green, both I think could have been avoided had you had some protection for your quarterback.
Oh my
both
goodness.
were backside pressure that basically the defender went pretty much unabated to the quarterback and was able to strip the ball out.
Well, my problem, Randy, is for 3 weeks now you've demonstrated you can't block anybody in the drop back pass game. You had some success. Here's the crazy part of this. You had some success when you went to the short pass game and when you started the third quarter. You moved the ball and you went back to running the football. But for some reason, you go back to a 5-7 step drop. You can't block this team. You haven't blocked them all day in that set. Taylon doesn't have a chance to see or read the receivers, nonchalant, lackadaisical. They can't get open. Listen, if you're not coaching it, you're allowing it. To me, this starts at the top. It starts at the top. It has to. There's no other way to say it, but.
Well, there's, me and my numbers. I must talk about my numbers. Tackles for losses, A&M with 9 on the day. That's minus 40 yards for Arkansas. Then the other crucial number, and I think in some cases this may be generous, but then you mix in runs, so you can't call it a quarterback hurry. Eight quarterback hurries.
Oh God!
On the day.
Now I know you. That's not your statistics, right?
Oh, this is right straight from the official.
There are more than 8 quarterback hurries.
Well, that's what I said. I mean, this is being nice. I think when they simply say 8, and sack yards. A&M only actually, believe it or not, only sacked Taylon Green twice, minus 26 yards off of those sacks. And actually, I'm going to correct that, minus 13. So between the two, between the tackle for losses and the sack yards, tough day.
Yeah.
Tough day for the Arkansas offense. Now, again, these are my numbers. I'm reading these numbers, not my numbers. 385 total offense for Arkansas, 297 for Texas A&M, and I think 160 of those yards came in the first quarter. And granted, 75 came on one play, which was the pass from Jackson to, Green to Isaac Tesla, who had an outstanding day today. All right, let's take a phone call or two. We'll take a break, and but let's start with good evening. Welcome to the First Security Fifth Quarter Postgame Show. Hello. Why don't I do this? Guess not. Let's try this. Good evening. Welcome to the First Security Fifth Quarter Postgame Show.
Randy, this is Superfan.
Hey, Ron.
What's going on, guys? Look, Randy, you know me. I'm Mr. Positive. I love to take the Rick Schaefer approach, but let me just tell you, I've had enough of losing these close games to A&M, especially a not real good A&M team today. And let me tell you this, Randy. I agree with Marcus. This start, I ain't going to take a shot at the kids. This starts at the top. Sam's a great guy, very nice guy, but he's proven we need to move on, and we should have moved on last year. I say, and I hate to say this, but I have to tell you what I'm thinking and what most of the people on social media that I see. I say we meet him at the plane, say you did your best, go enjoy retirement early, and let's hand this team over to Bobby. Because Bobby, Randy, he beat A&M. He beat A&M more than once. And we can't seem to be, we play close games usually. We just can't get over the hump. And I'll tell you what beat us today. It was the offensive line and that fumble on the 10-yard line.
Yep,
you can't
right.
fumble that ball. Do what?
You're exactly right.
He barely got the handoff into Jackson's hand. In fact, he could have taken the handoff maybe equally as much as Jackson did. That again was poor blocking up front, which created an easy opportunity for the A&M defender. Same thing with the strip when when Green rolls right and the ball stripped out from behind by number 11. Number 11. I was telling Marcus Ron a moment ago, he looked like Myles Garrett, or
He did.
one of those great A&M All-American type of defensive ends. Sometimes, though, you make a player look better than what he is. But I will give that front four. Arkansas with their front five had no business even trying to block their front four. And then when they brought pressure, it was even worse. But
and they brought pressure the whole second quarter.
They brought a bunch.
Lot of the other game. But, hey, Marcus, why don't you, when you're bringing that much pressure, I mean, I'm no coach. I've coached, a little bit of Pee-wee ball or something, but why don't you run the draw?
Screens, delays, all those are called pressure beaters. You're right. You're exactly right.
Yeah. Right.
And they ran one screen to Jackson, and it hit big. You're exactly right.
It hit big.
Yeah,
it hit big. And I agree with you, Marcus. This ain't on tape. It doesn't matter if you got Tom Brady back there taking that snap. You don't have the time to exchange that ball when they're on you like that.
Tom Brady couldn't get away. It'd be a disaster for him. At least Green can get away a little bit, but this is ridiculous.
Yeah. It is, and again, I think he's a great guy. But look, he's a good. I want to say he's a good offensive line coach, but that's where we've struggled the last 2 years. We're better,
right,
Marcus, this year. But look, the best part of that team of A&M is their D-line problem. And if you just make a few adjustments, you don't have that turnover in that 7 points, and we probably win the game.
No, you're right.
But
no ifs tonight allowed. No ifs. Nope.
Huh?
Yes, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm just saying, Ron. No ifs allowed tonight.
Oh, okay. I got you. I won't say that word then, or I'll try not to.
No, I know what you said. Well, if they hadn't allowed the fumble at the 10-yard line, if they hadn't, well, no, it did occur. It did happen.
I know.
Okay.
It did.
Sorry, buddy. Not trying to be mean to you. Just simply saying. No ifs allowed.
Exactly right. Okay, but great call, guys, when you go with the fake. That was wide open. I could have ran through that and got a first down.
I'm not sure about that.
And, well, I was saying even.
I know what it looked like. Anyway. I know what it looked like.
But you don't go to the well too many times, right? Don't you agree, Mark?
No,
we went to the well twice.
I haven't
Ron,
disagreed with
thank you, buddy.
Didn't disagree with Ron once tonight, guys. This starts up top to me. It really does. And I can't sing Petrino's praises tonight. I think that second half they came out, they went. The only thing you do is go with a short game. They don't run any blitz or pressure beaters. They're just asking the kid to just avoid pressure, run around, buy time, and hope your receiver gets open and throw it down there. That's ridiculous. Nobody does that.
All right, Trey, I make sure I have you on the right input.
I'm here.
There you go. Okay. Just making sure. I figured that was the input you would be on. Let's get your thoughts right there from AT&T Stadium.
Well, it's just tough because you come down here and every year it seems like, okay, maybe this is the year, and it doesn't work out for you. I don't know why I'm getting feedback into my ears right now, Randy.
I have an echo in mine as well, so.
Not sure how the board is set up, but it must be
How about
set up
that?
wrong,
Does that work better?
Yep.
Okay.
It's gone now. I was a little bit surprised, and I know we talk about depth, and there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of depth, but you pin Texas A&M basically inside the 1 yard line, and you don't play press coverage on that first play, and you allow them to roll out in their own end zone and throw and complete a pass for a first down, and you really didn't have your first-string defensive line in the game right there.
And didn't get a chance until they got down about the 10-yard line. Yeah.
Texas A&M. Yeah. What are you thinking?
Yeah.
I mean, the game's on the line right there.
Mm-hmm.
You're up 3. The game is on the line, and you let them escape. I don't get it.
No, I don't understand it.
I mean, I guess give them credit for the gutsy call on the fake punt. It worked, but if it wouldn't have worked, he would have gotten barbecued for that. He's going to get barbecued for the fake field goal from the 50 after calling a timeout. Marcus, after you call a timeout, punt the ball.
Oh, yeah. No. Oh, yeah.
You don't even have a kicker that can make a 50-yarder on the team this year. So punt the ball and try to play field position. You had awful field position.
Keep that timeout, Trey. You needed that timeout later.
And take the 5-yard delay of game penalty right there.
Yeah, I agree. And
it gives you a little more room to punt the ball.
No, I'm with you.
There were several mistakes in this one today, guys, that just you sit there and you think, did I really just see that?
Yeah.
You're baffled by it.
Yeah.
All right, we're not baffled because we have got to step away for a moment, and we will continue with more of the First Security Fifth Quarter Postgame Show. Trey Shepp, Marcus Elliott. I'm Randy Rainwater. The First Security Fifth Quarter Postgame Show will continue in just one moment.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Hello, I'm Craig O'Neill with something so important to share with you, I'm going to get into my news voice. Breaking news from Conway. Genesis of Conway, whose automobiles are producing a growing number of fans every day, is taking $6,500 off the price of the incomparable GV80. And according to sources close to management, they're offering financing at 2.99%. When asked to verify, we got a one-word reply from Genesis, yep. We'll have more on this story as soon as you visit Genesis of Conway and discover the future of luxury today.
It's Justin Acree for Coffin by Design West. Shop with the local folks and get exactly what you want. You can also shop from the convenience of your own home by going to kaufmanlumber.com. There's an online store with over 800,000 items in inventory that can be delivered straight to your front door. Items in inventory include everything from hardware to housewares, heating and cooling supplies, lawn and garden tools, sporting goods, store and office supplies, and there's a huge range of products in each area available. So go by their store in West Little Rock at 14900 Cancel Road or do your shopping online at kaufmanlumber.com.
This month, your lucky number is 7. Strike it rich with the all-new Triple Red 7 Scratch-Off game from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. Scratch off 1 7 to win instantly, 2 to double your prize, and 3 to triple your money. You could win the $200,000 top prize, or any part of more than $9 million in total prizes. Play Triple Red 7s, available now at lottery retailers. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Join Puppy Up Little Rock for a dog walk around MacArthur Park and a silent auction in the pavilion to fundraise for important canine cancer research on Saturday, October 12th from 11 to 2 p.m. at the MacArthur Park Pavilion in downtown Little Rock. The walk starts at 1 p.m. Kids under 14 are free. The registration is $20 at puppyupwalk.org/Little Rock. For more information, contact Fran at puppyup.org or 501-690-1903.
I'd rather ride a bike with my kids.
Faster! I'd rather play catch with my dog than catch pneumococcal pneumonia.
Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20 pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. If you are 19 or older with certain chronic conditions like heart disease or asthma, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'd rather race for some ice cream. Let's go!
Schedule your vaccination today at Prevnar20.com.
Join the Zone each weekday for the Entertainment Report, brought to you by Bell & Sword of Conway. Find out the very latest breaking news and entertainment each day on the Zone. Justin, DJ, and I will dish out what the stars and celebrities have going on, and you can catch it each day. Bell & Sword has everything for the best dressed man, from boots to suits. Check them out on Facebook or Instagram. Bell & Sword at their new and larger location at 1011 Oak Street.
The pressure, in trouble, looking to run, now he's throwing downfield, got a man, completed the 35, Tesla, to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, touchdown Arkansas, 75 yards, Green kept the play alive, and Tesla did the rest.
Oh, my, looked so good at that particular moment. Welcome back to the First Security fifth quarter post-game show. Marcus Elliott, Trey Shep. I'm Randy Rainwater. Let's go right back to work. Let's talk with JW. JW, welcome to the First Security fifth quarter postgame show.
Hey, I got a few things here. I echo what the fella just said. Sam Pitman needs to get away from the Arkansas program, period. It's just that time. It's just time. We look weak out there. We got pushed around. We look weak on the line. How much is Bobby Petrino going to let Green be a turnover machine before we see Singleton? And I don't care who you put it on, but there were some plays where he had a 15-yard run wide open and wouldn't even be touched, and he threw it right into somebody else's hand. That's not smart football, and that's putting a lot on our defense, and that's wearing our defense out. Our defense are playing lights out, and I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. We're going to lose our coordinator, because I'm going to tell you, ain't nobody going to stick around for that. That's why Sam Pittman's got to go, let Bobby finish it out, and we'll go from there. But it's just time, man. It's time. And I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna end on this. When a fan doesn't get mad about losing anymore, that's when you got problems. That's your money bank there.
Thank you, JW. Oh, I think you're getting a little bit of feedback, are you not, ME, from former players?
Yeah. It's, well, I can't, most of it I cannot repeat over the air. But, no, I mean, listen, it doesn't take a rocket scientist or an expert to look at this. And well, here's what I asked you before. And Trey, I asked you, can you envision some kind of major turnaround in this program, or are we seeing the same old, same old?
I don't think you're going to see it this year because, Marcus, you look at what you have coming up, and the schedule is not going to get easy.
Oh, it's getting brutal.
You're about to have a top. What were they going into this week? 5, and they're off this week. Tennessee team, and either Georgia or Alabama's going to lose. Alabama's rolling the dogs right now, so Georgia's going to drop out of that top 5. Tennessee's going to move up. So you're going to have the 3rd or 4th ranked team in the country coming to Fayetteville next Saturday.
But I'm not even talking about the record. I'm talking about what we are seeing. We're not seeing seeing this team improve.
No,
we're seeing a regression.
Right. But that's what I'm getting to is the fact that we were all happy because we played Oklahoma State and thought we should have won that game, and they're about to drop out of the top 25. So how good are we? We're really not that good. Auburn gave up a game to Oklahoma today, but I'm sure if they played them 9 more times, they'd win all 9 of them. So it's not a good football team out there right now. The program is
how long are we going to wait for it to become a better
It's
football?
respectable.
You gotta get a new coach.
It is respectable defensively.
Defensively,
it is respectable defensively
at times, but they got their stuff down there.
They got ran over in that fourth quarter. That fourth quarter, they got ran over.
But I agree, it's better. No question.
It's respectable.
I will say the key run on that play, there was a blatant hold that was not called. But that's
as an offensive lineman, they probably could call a hold every play.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
They probably could. Well, and also Landon Jackson got his face mask just shoved up into the sky today, and there was no call. There were several no calls both ways in this game today that I saw.
I started to say the officiating did not beat Arkansas today.
No. But it was horrible on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
It just, I don't know, guys. It's going to take. And here's the thing. Everybody wants to win now. And you can do it quickly with money, but if you don't have the support of your fan base and the NIL, then you're definitely not going to win.
And Trey, when do we start questioning? Yeah, you can do it with the money, but when do we start questioning who they're giving the money to and who's making that decision, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can go buy talent, but are you buying the right talent? Do you have a system? Do you have it? Do you have a foundation of leadership and all of that stuff in place? I mean, tell you what, Alabama made a good hire.
In DeBoer.
Looks like.
It looks like. Well, Nick Saban's not coaching. He's doing College Game Day. Can you go get him?
He's unavailable. He's got too many commitments commercial-wise.
I got $5 to put on his contract. So.
Alex, good evening. Welcome to the First Security Fifth Quarter Postgame Show.
I don't know if it's that good of an evening, but my only couple things. At what point do we say that Taylor Green might not be the answer? Because
if it wasn't Taylor Green,
especially that last
Oh, please.
I'm sorry. I was going to say that last play, he had the sun in his eyes. That's the problem with playing in AT&T as a Cowboys fan. That's the problem with AT&T Stadium. He had the sun in his eyes the whole time, and he did not make a play to try to protect the ball. And I don't believe he had any idea of what was going on in the field. And he did not, because he made a couple of questionable calls, I think, where he made the wrong decision of when he should have kept the ball, when he should protect it, and when he tried to run the ball.
Alex, let me let you get behind that. Let me let you get behind that line and that blocking, and you make good decisions. Okay?
I agree. Our line was bad. I agree. Our line was
Without
bad,
Taylor Green, whoever's playing quarterback gets killed.
Yeah, they're going to get hammered. But he had the sun in his eyes. He did not see, but he didn't see. Like
They put the other guy in before. You see what happened with him, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, settle down.
I think how many plays did we have in shotgun versus doing any other formation? I feel like
there was only a couple underneath center, and one of those was 4th and inches.
Fourth and 1 quarterback sneak.
Not many, if any.
I like Taylor Green has the talent, but I don't feel like he's making the right decisions. And I feel like we've seen
he has no chance to, Alex.
There's a lot of times he doesn't have support from his line. I agree with that, but I do feel like there's sometimes that he doesn't make the right decision. But
the worst thing that happened, I think the worst thing that happened was the big play for.
Thank you, Alex.
The worst thing that happened today for Arkansas's offense and Taylor Green was the big play for the touchdown early.
Yeah.
Because from then on, I think that was the strategy. Let's let him use his athleticism to
try and hit a home run.
To avoid the rush and let big plays happen downfield. When they came back with the short game, like any coordinator to do, if you can't block somebody, came back in the short game, they moved the football. They started running the ball again. But it quickly reverted back to, okay, let's let Taylor avoid the rush, run around, hopefully he makes a play downfield. You can't do that.
Well, you're talking about NIL dollars, transfer portal dollars.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't upgrade the offensive line,
I agree.
Get it to SEC standards, and I'm talking not just one position,
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking all 5 positions across the board.
You're right.
Unless you've got Houdini back there, how many times have we talked about that?
Yep.
If you don't have the protection and the quarterback is throwing from his rear, but in this case, he's running for his life, how can you expect much more over 56% pass completion?
But here's where it's coaching, guys. Trey and Rand, here's where it's coaching. It's not just the line. The backs.
Oh, the
they
backs
are horrible at,
they're not even
at
chipping.
blocking.
They're not even chipping.
It's terrible.
The last week, we are saying same song, second verse.
No, fourth verse.
Auburn exposed all of this last weekend. That's the mistake that was made in this game. There were not corrections that were made. I
agree.
Should have been made that would have corrected those issues from a week ago.
Well, and Marcus and Randy, the other thing is, too, let's look at where Arkansas is in the pecking order of the SEC. They haven't beaten Alabama in, 20 years?
At least, yeah.
And your record in the last 13 games against Texas A&M is 1-12. 1-12. Your record against Missouri is atrocious. So when you look at that, and now you hope you can beat the Mississippi schools this year. I don't think you're going to be able to beat Ole Miss, even though they got beat today by Kentucky. Maybe that's a winnable game. Mississippi State, maybe that's a winnable game. But when you look at where you are, kids growing up these days that are sophomores, juniors, and seniors in high school, they've never seen Arkansas beat Alabama in football. They've seen Arkansas beat Texas A&M, 1, 2, 3 times maybe?
Yeah.
So it's not a consistent product
right.
to where you have them coming out of high school saying, no matter where you are in the country, I want to go be a Razorback. Look at Alabama and Georgia right now and the athletes that they have on the field, and that's because they played for national championships the last several years. Arkansas, 1 year goes to the Outback Bowl. They went to a BCS game once during its BCS tenure, if you will. It's just not a flashy program right now when it comes to football.
Guys, I'm going to read this real quick. This is from a former player. His name will be not named. This is kind of funny, though. And we don't do politics here, but this is kind of funny. He says, Pitman needs to place the team over himself and step down like Biden did for the Democrats.
All right, guys, let's talk with Dale. Dale, good evening. Welcome to the First Security Fifth Quarter Postgame Show.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Man, doing wonderful.
All the people, my friends and everything, they're like, get rid of Sam Pitman and put Bobby Petrino in there. And then during the game today, I heard the announcers 2 or 3 times when Arkansas would get the ball, and they were like, okay, now we got Bobby Petrino back here. Okay, look, the bottom line is Arkansas is Arkansas. If you got a blue-chip player, and he's being recruited by Arkansas, Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, who is he going to pick? Arkansas is just middle of the road. Every 10 years, they'll have a couple of teams that are good teams. They're going to win 8 or maybe even 10 games. 4 or 5 years, they're going to be middle of the road, maybe make a bowl, maybe not. And 3 or 4 years, they're going to look it up the last 40 or 50 years. It's just the same thing.
And I think we saw that. I think we saw that recently, right, Randy, with KJ Hill being recruited by Arkansas, Ohio State. Where did he end up going? Ohio State.
Yep.
Exactly.
And look at the top players that are coming out this year. Where are they going? They're not going to Arkansas.
You can't have it.
Kansas State, among others.
Arkansas is the middle of the league team in the SEC.
I wouldn't even say middle right now.
If they can make a bowl game, the fans need to be very happy about that. But stop at the beginning of the year calling in and saying, oh, we're going 11-1 this year. Every year for 20 years I've been hearing the same thing. We're going 10-2. We're going 9-3. We're going to win the national championship. Be realistic, people. It's not going to happen.
Thank you, Dale.
All right.
Thank you, Dale. All right, let's check in with Toby. Toby, good afternoon. Welcome. Actually, good evening. Welcome to the First Security Fifth Quarter Postgame Show.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Just 2 or 3 observations, and then I'm going to hang up. First of all, I hear everybody calling in, talking about, bring Bobby Petrino back. We forget that Pitman brought Bobby Petrino in to handle the offense. Okay? So, even if he is at the helm, the offense ain't going to change that much because we're running Bobby Petrino's offense. Secondly, I was talking to another good friend of mine, and we were saying that the team that we run into who does not commit a lot of turnover or any at all, Arkansas will not be able to beat them. Why? Because when you look back at our record over our last 4 or 5 games, with the exception of UAPB, and throwing no deference towards them, okay? But we know, that they're not in the same class. But with the exception of UAPB, the only teams that we have played that we have been able to beat are the teams that has just as many turnovers as we do. And so we are turnover prone, and you are not going to, especially when you start talking about Myrtle's Road that we're getting ready to go into with these next few teams we're going to be playing. So until we can get rid of all of these turnovers, we ain't going to win any more ball games. And as far as Taylor Green is concerned, honestly, and ME, I know you defend him, and rightfully so. He's a good guy, he's a good quarterback. But, his decision-making, I'm telling you, it's just something, that's lacking there.
Who you going to replace him with that's going to do better behind this offensive line and pass game protection?
Well,
who's going to do better?
Arguing with you. That's what I'm saying. I'm not arguing with you.
Well, I'm saying that's the problem. I'm saying, no, I think he is the guy. I'm saying your problem is not him. Your problem is the protection. Look at his statistics. Even as bad as y'all saying he's played, got 1 interception, The fumbles that
should have had 2.
That little mesh
that should have been a pick
well,
6.
We can. Hey, turn on.
There I go. If.
Yeah, turn on any TV, you're gonna see any quarterback. That's not the issue. The issue is they're getting whipped at the line of scrimmage. That's causing fumbles. He's pressured. That's causing interceptions. And then you call a game where you ask him and that line to do something they cannot do. And that's drop back protection. Every pass is a long 15-yard out route. That's the short pass game. But when they came back in the third quarter, they came back with the short game. They mixed in some screens. All that stuff is fundamental pressure beaters. They work. You got the number 1 running back in the league, and you don't feed him. It's unbelievable. So
no, it is believable.
But I don't agree. I don't disagree with you there, M.E. I really don't. And in terms of the plays that they called, and especially since you played the game. But all I'm saying is that honestly, some of his decision making, and I realize he has.
Well, tell me about the decisions you're talking about. Then
he's being pressured.
Well, yeah. You're going to
when we were down on the 9 and 10 yard, okay. And all of a sudden, you see the defensive back coming right at you, and then you're gonna.
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why do you not have a play called where there's an outlet or short game? That's the only way you beat that corner blitz, that defensive back. He's trying to avoid that pressure and make a play down, and you're asking him to do that. Guess what? He did it. He got you ahead. 14-0 or 14-7. He got you ahead doing that, avoiding pressure. But you keep asking them to do it. They got good players and they got good coaches. They're going to adjust. So to me, it's not the players. It's players on the offense. It's the players. No, you're right. It's the players on the offensive line for sure.
Yeah,
it's not that player, in my opinion.
Okay, well, hey, we appreciate you guys. Okay.
Toby, thank you, my friend. All right.
Your left tackle, your right tackle, your right guard. My head was hurting.
Imagine if you were on this offensive line, M.E.
Listen, I would bite somebody or hold. I would do something. But he wouldn't be hitting my quarterback every play.
You got to be quick enough to hold him. That's the other problem. All right, this is the First Security Fifth Quarter Postgame Show. Stay tuned.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Hunter Bell from Bell Chevrolet. Football season in Arkansas is one of my favorite times of the year. And I think we can all agree that game days are better with tailgating. Fourth quarters are better with game-winning field goals. And the best played games are better with teamwork. And just like on the field, Bell Chevrolet is better because of our people and their dedication to our customers. Shop Bell Chevrolet and BellChevrolet.com today. Together, let's drive.
Is your marriage over? Assets? Debts? Custody? For divorces, hire the Lions. There's no one better to protect your pride than our pride of Legal Lions. Exceptional communication and exceptional results in both the negotiating room and the courtroom. Lion Legal, the legal pride of Arkansas. Call 227-ROAR and Lion Legal will come roaring to the rescue.
This is Thomas Blackman of Blackman Auctions. A well-advertised auction is the fastest, most effective, most efficient, economical method to get the highest market value for your asset. Whether it is real estate or a piece of equipment, an auction is the best option. Say it with me again. A well-advertised auction is the fastest, most effective, most efficient, economical method to get the highest market value for your asset. For 86 years, Blackman has made auctions the best solution for selling your hard-earned property. Since 1938, better auctions are Blackman Auctions.
Ethan Bates, Conference USA Player of the Year here for HJ Trailer Sales. It's finally fall, my favorite time of the year. Well, okay, except for maybe baseball season. When I need a dependable trailer to get in and out of the woods, there's no better place than at HJ Trailer Sales in Hot Springs. From sales to repairs, HJ Trailer Sales keeps me ready all hunting season long. Being from Hot Springs, it doesn't hurt that they're my hometown trailer store. Family owned and operated. Go to hjtrailersales.com or on Facebook.
These paws were made for walking. Join us at Care for Animals Paws on the Runway, a celebration of fashion and fur presented by Subaru of Little Rock. On Thursday, October 3rd at Rusty Tractor Vineyard from 6 to 9 p.m., we'll feature a runway show and virtual auction that will have tails wagging. Since 1998, Care has rescued nearly 5,000 dogs and cats from kill shelters in Arkansas. That's a lot of unconditional love, so purchase tickets today at careforanimals.org.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent. So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle.
Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Free and Gentle. This back-to-school season, Tide and Downy are giving back with $1.5 million in scholarships. Enter to win. No purchase necessary. US/DC 17+. End September 30th. Rules. Tide.com/scholarship/official rules.
Psst. Hey, I have a secret. I use Secret Whole Body Deodorant because more than just my armpits stink.
Oh, can I use it where my bra rubs under my...
Oh, yeah.
And what about down there? You know, my...
Totally. 4 out of 5 gynecologists would recommend it. So I tried it, and now I get 72 hours of freshness. From my pits to my...
Ooh, I love that it's a spray.
Me too. And it comes in sticks and creams too. Go get your Secret Whole Body Deodorant.
Bring a man in motion, off the zone read. They hand it to Jaquindon Jackson, trying to get to the edge. Outside the numbers at the 5, touchdown Arkansas! Jackson from 8 yards out, the Razorbacks grab the lead again.
And welcome back once again to the First Security Fifth Quarter Postgame Show. Marcus Elliott, Trey Shapp. I'm Randy Rainwater. Trey, real quick before we go back to the phone lines, they announced the crowd at like 60,000.
Yeah.
Sure looked bigger than that.
It did, but obviously they scan the tickets here so they can give you an accurate number. I'm not sure if anybody was able to get in without scanning a ticket, but it did look bigger. It sounded bigger. And, guys, I just saw a stat in watching the Georgia-Alabama game on the bottom line when they put the Arkansas score up there. Obviously, we know the record since Texas A&M joined the league 12 years ago. 12 games have been played, and Arkansas has won one of those 12. Arkansas has led in the game in 10 of those games. They have led in 10 of those games and have won one time.
Oh, that's terrible.
And when you get back to margin of victory, I mean, I think that's the other one.
It's another one-score loss.
Yeah. How many of these have been one-score games?
Yep.
Let's talk with the Blind Boss. Blind Boss, welcome to the First Security Fifth Quarter Postgame Show.
Good evening, guys. Good evening. I've been sitting here listening to all these callers, and about every caller acknowledges that we're not calling the right plays for the offensive line that we got out there. So, but then I hear those same callers say Pitman needs to retire and get the team to the guy that's calling the plays
I'm with you.
to the offensive line. So I'm getting confused. By giving the guy more control, it's allowing this offensive line to try to go head on head. Why does nobody mention why don't Sam Pitman possibly pack it up and give the team to P-Will? Because if I see anybody that's out coaching the recruiting, it'd be Williams. You know, he's got the team he got, and he's going against these other high-powered teams. And he said, you know, he's not banging his head on the same wall hoping he goes through it later on. So that's just what I've been seeing and what I've been hearing. So if there's a problem with the plays we're calling on offense, it's probably not a good idea to give that guy the the rest of the team. And that's just what I've been noticing.
Wow.
Y'all let me know what y'all think.
Wow, that may be the most profound
I agree.
statement that has been made so far.
Call of the season.
Yeah, it may be a while. I was just thinking, okay, we are calling for the head of Pitman, but yet we want to turn her to Bobby. But yet all these problems right now are happening on the offensive side of the football.
Yeah. Okay. And, and I get it. I understand this, when you have a guy like this at quarterback, it's enticing because of what can happen, like what happened early in the game, right? He's athletic enough. That's enticing to a coach. He can avoid something and make something big happen down. But here's the problem. He's having to avoid pressure. And those guys have scholarships too. They're great athletes. They're not going to miss all day. They're going to get at him sometimes. And that just creates turnovers. I think
today as well, guys, is not having a healthy has at tight end. You saw
he went out again.
That one pass over there on the side. Yeah. He immediately got out of bounds and dropped the ball and is tugging at his back. And it's an issue that Sam said in the postgame. Look, we're trying to work through it, but he just could go. I mean, and back injuries.
Well, who else you got?
Well, it's a good point.
Come on now.
I mean, Ty Washington.
This is Power 5 football.
Postgame.
Well, he was ruled out earlier in the week.
He hadn't played in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
maybe 3 weeks now.
He's been out the last 2 games.
Yeah.
He's been ruled out the last 2 games.
All right, gentlemen, let's talk to Faquan. Faquan, good evening. Welcome to the First Security Fifth Quarter Postgame Show.
What's up, Randy?
What's up, buddy? Hadn't heard from you in a while.
Hey, I know one thing about winning. All good programs, winning is 2 things. It's an attitude and it's a culture. Yep. We don't have neither one. We talking about the coaches. Why the players ain't had a players-only meeting and hold each other accountable? You do good by watching film. The best teams are prepared in the film room, and where they lacking that on the field, they do the extra work. We turning the ball over, like Marcus said. Why would I go to a 5 and a 7-step drop and I can't block? That's coaching.
That's totally.
But we won't say nothing about Bobby Petrino. Bobby Petrino, you didn't finish the Alabama game. You get big leads and you done lost big games. Why we can't finish?
That's true.
Why are we giving these games away, bro? We should be 5-0 right now, ranked in the top 10 with what we got.
I'm with you.
When I hit the field, Randy, I knew I was gonna make a play. When the coach called my name and I hit that field, I was ready to make a play. That's the attitude. I'm coming in prepared, but guess what? I was in the film room too. If they go trips or quads and they like to run a smash route or seam route, when I see that automatically goes in my mind. I don't care how good I am, I'm prepared. And I'm making that play. That's what the great ones do. We just don't have the attitude and the culture. And then why we don't get the big players, our offensive line look like high school line.
Oh, terrible.
We got one of the best weight rooms in the country. Why our players don't look like the Alabama and Georgia players? We got some of we can compete with anybody. We got money, we got everything. What's wrong with our athletes in the weight room?
Well, and I think you said something too, Faquan. They're not prepared either on the offensive line. They don't know what to do.
No, they're not prepared.
They do not know what to do.
Marcus, if I get trouble with an offensive line, what's the first thing I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go 90 game. I'm gonna go short, and I'm gonna go max protect.
Easy.
Our backs don't even know how to chip. That's coaching.
No,
that's not the
totally coaching. That's drill work every day.
Every single day, fundamentals. That's why we do segment drills. If I need to work on chipping, I need to work on chipping. If I need to get that offensive line right, I'm finna fundamentally drill them. I'm finna do drill work, get them in shape, and we're going to do the best we can do. But that comes from coaching, bro. We lacking in coaching right now. It's a whole program, bro. I'm tired of seeing Arkansas football down. When we gave the game away to Oklahoma State, and we gave the game away today, we should be 5-0 right now, ranked in the top 10, waiting on Tennessee. And we'll be better prepared if we was 5-0 and 3-2. Because if we was 5-0, we got the confidence, even 4-1. Now we going against, like y'all said, maybe the 4th-ranked team, and we coming in with doubt in our mind. How we going to beat somebody and we doubting ourselves?
Hey, Faquan, I want to ask you, when you have that doubt, are you also nervous?
You're real nervous.
Because you can't play this game nervous.
You can't play it nervous because you're going to make a mistake. You got to play it. It's a difference between being arrogant and confident.
Yes.
If I'm confident, I believe in myself.
Yep.
I know my craft. I know what I can do. Whoever you put me up against, bring it. I'm going to bring it just like them. But guess what? I'm prepared. If I know in the film room that, say, Christian Williams from Alabama, when he finna run a go route, he lines up 3 yards inside the number. Well, he 3 yards inside the number. I'm finna look for a go route. I'm gonna play the go route. It's simple things in the film room. I'm gonna tell you something about the players, and when they get to Fayetteville, they get relaxed. They like celebrities. You ain't did nothing. You sitting up there enjoying the luxuries of life. It's a blessing to be a Razorback.
It is.
Bruh, you got to stay out to practice. You got to hit that film room.
Yes.
You got to do everything extra to be great, and we don't have that.
That's culture. That's what you were talking about, though. That's culture.
Faquan.
It's culture, bro.
Faquan, thank you, my friend. Always great to hear from you. All right, let's talk. Excellent points. Let's talk with Brian. Brian, good evening. Welcome to the First Security Fifth Quarter Postgame Show.
Good evening, fellas.
Good
Marcus,
evening.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
What's the first thing you do before every football play?
Okay,
Make sure your chin strap's buckled up. Make sure your chin strap's buckled up, right?
Yes,
What's
you're right.
the second thing you do? What's the second thing you do?
You help me. Come on, I want to hear what you say.
You put your mouthpiece in.
Okay.
We got players at the start of play that don't even have their mouthpieces in.
Okay.
Matter of fact, the quarterback is stepping up and checking the play to a pass play. Guess what the wide receiver does then?
What's
he
that?
puts his mouthpiece in. We're tipping the play. Our receivers are telling the defense this ain't for them. They're running slough routes. The only one that's running with the mouthpiece in is the one that's running the option route. They're giving away because they ain't even prepared to play before the ball's even snapped. Not even prepared to play. And that's not offensive line. Go back and watch the film and see how many wide receivers don't have their mouthpiece in. And then when he checks, see how many of them put their mouthpiece in after the check. We're tipping things.
Oh, wow.
Fellas, y'all have a good night.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, Brian. Let's talk with Savage. My man, Savage, welcome to the First Security Fifth Quarter Postgame Show. I know you're not unhappy about anything.
No, I'm happy, Randy. Going in this game, we were supposed to win one or two of these games. We were supposed to win at Auburn or Texas A&M. We won one of them. So the future's still on path of what I wanted to get to a bowl game. My question is, Randy, if you're on the offensive line and Jackson's not running up the middle, the two outside offensive linemen, they've got to protect. We didn't run up the middle, so they're looking for somebody on the outside, but they didn't. They always stayed to the inside, and that pass rush was killing us game play after play after play. You have to mentally – the coaches got to see it. We all see it.
Yep.
Get wide. Pick up somebody, and you didn't even make adjustments going in the second half. So, Randy, what's your thoughts on the offensive line? You've got to pick up somebody, and the running back's got to block because we weren't running the ball down the middle.
Well, if you remember the play where the fumble occurred at the 10-yard line, the left tackle for Arkansas, he went inside. Now, unless somebody was supposed to check on him, that is number 11 coming off the edge, there was nobody in his path.
Guys, it's been this way, football, from the end of time. if you're having to destroy a read option, it's penetration. So that end man actually is free. They're letting him go, and he's going.
But this was going to be a dive play.
Green's going to read it, but the penetration at the mesh point destroys the play and destroys his opportunity to read. Guys, that's an underrated play. A read option.
I know, Marcus, but you make adjustments, Marcus.
No.
If it happens multiple times, you got to adjust for it, though, right?
That's what I'm telling you. However, you can't run that anymore because you're getting whipped. You cannot run that.
Right.
You're getting whipped. Or you have to double team at the point of attack. And you have to get movement. Or else you're getting yourself killed. You're setting yourself up for just what happened.
This looked like, Mark, it was going to be a dive play.
Well, it was a read.
I know he was reading, but...
It was a read. It was read.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Okay. All right. We will step away for a moment. Okay. Damon said let's take a break. We'll take a break. This is the First Security fifth quarter postgame show. Marcus Elliott, Trey Shepp. I'm Randy Rainwater. When we come back, we'll hear from Sam Pitman. Stay tuned.
Great American pastime. Do you smell that? That's the smell of men being men.
I think I'm ready.
On 103.7 The Buzz, KABZ Little Rock.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Some vehicles are simply made. Cadillac vehicles are made to be iconic. And whether that's being made to be vibrant in an all-electric Lyriq, made to be epic in a luxurious Escalade, or made to be thrilling with the dynamic performance of CT4 and CT5, Cadillac is always made to be bold. Because icons aren't just born, they're made. Visit your local Cadillac showroom today.
We all know how busy our lives can be these days and how important our time and convenience is as well. Edwards Food Giant knows that too, so that's why they're inviting you to take advantage of their Heat and Eat meal solutions items in their deli department. Delicious Edwards Food Giant signature dishes, along with a wide choice of entrees and sides, all ready for you to pick up and take home to serve your family tonight. The Heat and Eat meal solution is now at your favorite Central Arkansas Edwards Food Giant deli. This week's special is hamburger steak for only $7.49 per pound, with Edwards signature mashed potatoes for $4.49 per pound.
Game on. This is the Doctor of Football here to tell you if you're a business traveler who frequently flies out of the Little Rock National Airport, you can't park any faster than Expressway Airport parking. Get in the game with us and join the Expressway Rewards Club and park with D1 Speed using the Rewards Club mobile app Gate Pass. As soon as you park, the Expressway shuttle picks you up in a matter of minutes. Upon your return, just use the mobile app to depart the parking lot through the Express Exit Lane. That's Expressway Airport parking. It's that easy.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Point! Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at Metamucil.com.
Hey Razorback fans, it's Quinn Grovey. Check out the new location of Bell & Sword in Conway. Suits, shirts, vests, also polos with Arkansas logo gear from Johnny O and Peter Millar. A store within a store with Arkansas-made Martin Dingman shoes and leather goods. Fantastic service with a tailor on staff to fit you perfectly. Go to the new location, Bell & Sword, 1011 Oak Street, Conway, or on Facebook and Instagram.
Tune in to 103.7 The Buzz every Tuesday night at 8 for Between the Mats, high school football show with your hosts, Matt Wilcox and Matt McJunkins. You'll hear coaches' interviews, player interviews. You'll also get weekly top 10s and player of the week picks for each classification every week. Plus, t-shirt giveaways and fan interactive pick'em challenges with prizes. Between the Mats on The Buzz each Tuesday is brought to you by Hooten's Football, your number one source for Arkansas high school football.
So Ramsey will try a 45-yard field goal attempt from the right hash mark to give the Razorbacks the lead. Razorbacks attempted a fake on the last one. It didn't work. It's a good snap. The kick is on the way, and the kick is good. The kick is good, and Kyle Ramsey has given the Razorbacks the lead. 45 yards for the transfer from Abilene Christian.
And again, welcome back to the First Security Fifth Quarter Postgame Show. Marcus Elliott, Trey Shapp. I'm Randy Rainwater. He is head football coach Sam Pitman.
Congratulations to A&M. I thought their defense was extremely physical. We knew it going in. We thought that was the best part of their football team, and they certainly showed it tonight. I thought our kids played extremely hard, had too many penalties in the second half that came back to haunt us. Took the lead there in the fourth, and they ended up going down the field and scoring on us. So we helped them with penalties, which is we can't do, but very disappointing to lose tonight because it certainly felt like we had our chances to win and felt like that the entire game, but we never could get anything consistently going offensively. You know, it was all something big or a fake punt or whatever, but it was not a lot of consistency there, and couldn't protect again. Kind of same old story this week. So Texas A&M did a good job, and congratulations to them.
Please raise your hand to ask a question, and we'll get a mic to you. Front row on the end first, and then right next to him. Nope. There you go.
Yeah, Coach, you talked about the pressure, and obviously that played a big role in the 3 turnovers and stuff. What were they doing, and just why was it so difficult? I know they're talented, but
I don't think in protection game, it's got to be 1-on-1, then 2-on-2, then 5-on-5, then 6-on-6, and you kind of progress that way in teaching your protections. Early in the game, we were getting, a bunch of the game we were getting beat was getting beat 1-on-1. And then what happens, you start getting that way. They really didn't do anything different. They did bring a boundary smoke forward to a side, which they didn't cross face in an empty protection. But other than that, not a lot of things that were different. So it wasn't like we were turning them loose. It was just we were having a difficult time of blocking them. And then what happens, especially if you start the game like that, then your quarterback gets happy feet and sometimes validated and sometimes probably not. Maybe you try to get the ball out of his hand faster, but they were really good, and I thought tonight that they were probably as good as I thought they were coming in. I was hoping they might not be that way and that we'd play a little bit better.
coming out of halftime, you were maybe trying to move Talon a little bit and throw some quick stuff.
Yeah.
What was the discussion at halftime, talking about trying to beat some of that stuff?
Yeah, trying to get the ball outside either with him, and, of course, Bobby ran a little truck play with him as well. They slanted to that side. We got beat on a couple of down blocks out there, and we lost 5 yards on that particular play. But we were just trying to move the pocket a little bit, and hopefully he could get on the edge and have a run-pass option. We also thought that was the way to go in the run game, so we tossed the ball out there a little bit with a little bit of truck down, and pull with a toss that we did with Braylon just seemed like tonight we had guys coming in and out, and seemed like I talked to Dave more than what I have normally on guys cramping or getting hurt. So it was a very physical game, but that's what we tried to do. We was going to try to move the pocket a little bit more, and I thought it helped us. Then when you get into, the 2-minute and things like that, it's hard to move the pocket and throw the ball a long way down the field.
Yeah, Sam, I had a couple. Kind of follow up on Taylor. You said earlier this week you need to give him some help. But how tough a situation is he in? Because it seems like he's running, for his life a lot.
Well, I think he's in a tough situation. I do. But it's our job to try to find out how we can score points and make yards with him. And but it's frustrating because I didn't feel like it was any better than what it was a week ago. The difference is we had 10 more last week. We had 4 last this week, and so it certainly feels different. But as far as the result on the field, didn't really look a whole lot different, I didn't think. And again, if it's something new, now you can correct it. But there wasn't a whole lot of new out there that we hadn't seen.
About the fakes, obviously the fake punt worked really well. Is that something you saw during the week, or could you maybe go through that? And then obviously the fake field goal didn't work. If you could talk about that.
Well, the fake punt was just a green light for Devin, and so we had seen that they turned their back, and I trust the guy, and so we just said, hey, if they turn their back and you feel like you can get the 15 yards, take off, and he did. Man, he did a freaking phenomenal job with that big play. We ended up, scoring a touchdown, I believe, off of that drive. The fake field goal, we had exactly the same look that they had shown over there. The problem was they normally drop the 2 outside guys, and we were trying to run Landon on a fake pass, and we knew the guy would go with him, and we could run him into the middle linebacker and then kick out the outside guy because he always just came up and stopped. It was the exact same look, except they rushed off the edge, which they hadn't shown this year, and on a tackle over situation to the boundary, and they rushed, and they got us on it. I think the field goal was maybe 49 or 50 yards and on the right hash, and obviously I felt like we'd make it, or I wouldn't have called it, but we didn't. So I wish we would have.
Taylor, I think 41 passes. You guys only had 29 runs. Maybe was that part of the game plan coming in that maybe you thought you might have more success passing it, or did it maybe get away that balance from you in the game?
I think it just got away from us because we weren't having great success on first down running the football, and it got away with us. And of course, you had at the end of the game you're throwing it, so that would skew it a little bit with 2 minutes and all that. But no, we weren't having a lot of success on the ground, so. Certainly part of that is, Taylor being able to run the football, out of the pocket and some of those undesigned runs. But no, we came in, I thought Bobby had a really good plan and Eric and those guys of running the football. It just, we weren't having very much success.
And y'all's run defense did so well until late in the fourth quarter. What was the key to stopping them early? And then, what did they make an adjustment that maybe?
Well, I don't know that they made a lot of adjustment besides their kids blocked a little bit better. The running backs ran a little bit harder maybe. They went at us late in the game where they were running a little bit on the outside, running more stretch plays. Early in the half and early in the third quarter, they started going at us. Late in the game and had more success with it, but we did run a couple of cross dogs inside, and we got misfitted a time or two that when they broke a decent gain. But it'd be hard for me to be disappointed in the defense besides, we missed a tackle to give up a big one. And then the 75-yard, once we went up 3, that drive, they did a good job, A&M. We helped them with some penalties as well.
Tom?
They played a lot of field position in the second quarter, kept pinning you deep, and it paid off, I guess, when they blew up the mesh. How big did kind of that sequence turn into?
Well, it was big. It seemed like we started every drive around the 10-yard line. I mean, it just seemed like that. And if we got to the 25, it felt like, man, we're really got good position. The problem was we weren't doing anything offensively either, So, I mean, we have to, convert. We did convert a couple of first down, and then it seemed like we'd stall, but it just seemed like we would stop them defensively, but they would kick us down to the 10, or we'd get a couple first downs, we'd punt to them, and then, it ended up several times in a row where we had 90 yards, which doesn't mean that you can't go 90 yards. It just meant we didn't. And if we ever did, we would change the field position, but we just never could.
The series down here ended up pretty lopsided in their favor. Are you happy to be going to campus next year there?
Yeah, I think we were 1 and 9 in that stretch, and for the most part, I think most of them were about like today, but with the same result. That's what's really, really frustrating because they found a way to win and we didn't, because I don't know that they're going to sit over there and be extremely happy with, I'm not talking for coach, with their offensive performance, you know what I mean, and maybe they are, but they found a way to win and we didn't. So but that's happened a few times here, and it's just really disappointing for the kids.
Sam, a couple of guys that you said you wanted to get the ball to more were Tesla and Haz. Tesla, what did you think of his performance today? And then did Haz get banged up there?
He did. I mean, he came in the game with a back. We felt like he could get through the game. Obviously could not. Tesla, I love Tesla. Well, I love them all, but Tesla's just one of the heartbeats of the program. Never says anything if he's not getting balls and all that, but very, very valuable. Just a great kid, and I thought he played an excellent game, not only catching the ball, but blocking on the perimeter as well.
And then on the Texas A&M's go-ahead drive, I think you had most of your backups along the defensive line. In hindsight, do you wish you maybe had the starters in there for the critical drive, or is it just kind of rotation?
Well, we felt like the fresh guys were going to play better. I'll have to look at the tape to see, exactly how those guys played, or if we didn't fit at linebacker, or the safeties didn't fit. But in hindsight, I wish we'd stopped them, and we obviously felt like the guys we had in the game were capable of doing it.
There were a couple snap issues in the first half, and it seemed like it calmed down in the second half. Just what did you see maybe from, Addison's performance today? I
just think that he took some off the snap. Most of the time it's when he goes to his left, but he had the one down there on the far end zone, on our end zone, that I can remember. I don't know about the other one, but the one was definitely wide, and I talked to him, and Eric talked to him, and that's one too many we got to get fixed. He's trying awful hard. He's a good kid, but we got to have consistency there.
Coach, the last time we talked about some of the tackling issues, there was some talk about how in practice a lot of guys were in green, and so it was hard to be physical. Do you feel like that's still something that's contributing to some of the tackling problems, or what would you credit that with?
Oh, I don't think we had a whole lot of tackling problems, to be honest with you. I think we tackled pretty good today. Now, we had one out there on the edge, and the guy goes however far he went. But, guys are going to miss tackles. I felt like, to answer your question, I felt like we've done better the last 2 weeks than we certainly did against UAB, and I believe we'll continue to do that. I like the kids. I like their effort. I like how they're getting coached. You want to get a guy on the ground every single time, and I understand and respect your question. But I do think we're headed the right direction in our tackling.
And then we saw Landon Jackson break through for a couple sacks for the first time. Just how good was that to see? What was different for him?
Yeah, that was good. I think it probably felt good for him. As a guy blocking him was a good player as well. And so I was proud of him, happy for him, and it helped the team.
Sam, their quarterback, Reed, kind of followed his MO. He didn't turn the ball over. What did you think of him and the fact, I guess 3-0 turnovers was probably the biggest thing of the game?
You look at him and have a lot of respect for him and his family. Obviously, we recruited him as well. But he organized when they went down and beat Florida, handed the ball off, made a few throws, and then he did a little bit more last week, did a little bit more to win the game today. I think their offensive line is pretty good, especially even though we gave them probably a little bit more trouble than others have. But he managed the game. Seems like he's got ice in his veins, for a young kid like that. So I thought he did a really good job for him.
Sam, you guys have been traveling all over the place. Finally get to be at home for a while, but you got all these Tennessee coming in, all these other ranked teams. Scott, how do you feel about finally going to get home? But man, pretty brutal schedule.
Yeah, excited though. Excited to play University of Tennessee at home. Like you said, we've been, I think, 4 out of 5 on the road, and it'll be nice to get back home. We've got a good football team. We just didn't score as many. We got to figure out. We got to continue to work on how to win these games, and I expect our team to be ready to play and our fans to be ready to support us and help us with crowd noise and all that. But it'll be nice to get back home.
All right, that was Sam Pitman, head football coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks. The First Security fifth quarter postgame show will continue in just one moment.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Kick off tailgate season with Gwatney Chevrolet. This month, we're giving a free Yeti Tundra 45 cooler to every customer who purchases a new Chevy Colorado, Silverado, Tahoe, or Suburban. One of these iconic Chevy trucks or SUVs will instantly take your game day setup to the next level. Plus, you'll be the talk of the tailgate with your free Yeti. Just tell them where you got it. Learn more at GwatneyChevrolet.com or come see us at 1301 TP White Drive in Jacksonville. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Companies are shifting their telephone systems to the cloud, and you should too. ESI eCloud PBX has everything you need. Features like work from anywhere, video calls, and advanced security tools make ESI eCloud PBX one of the best choices for any business. Opt out of the high cost of your traditional phone system and move to the cloud. Sign up for an online demo at nsgdv.com and get your system activated at no charge.
Network Services Group. One call does it all.
Listen to Out of Bounds every day to hear about what's trending on social media and whether listeners agree or disagree. Engaging conversations about engaging topics. Sponsored by Arkansas-based West Rock Coffee. Join West Rock and their 1.5 million coffee farmers around the globe as they fuel Arkansans with great tasting coffee, tea, and water delivered directly to your business. Contact them at westrockcoffee.com or 833-886-JAVA. That's 833-886-5282. Call today.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent. So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle.
Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Free and Gentle. This back-to-school season, Tide and Downy are giving back with $1.5 million in scholarships. Enter to win. No purchase necessary. US/DC 17+. End September 30th. Rules. Tide.com/scholarship/official rules.
Psst. Hey, I have a secret. I use Secret Whole Body Deodorant because more than just my armpits stink.
Oh, can I use it where my bra rubs under my...
Oh, yeah.
And what about down there? You know, my...
Totally. 4 out of 5 gynecologists would recommend it. So I tried it, and now I get 72 hours of freshness. From my pits to my...
Ooh, I love that it's a spray.
Me too. And it comes in sticks and creams too. Go get your Secret Whole Body Deodorant.
Take your yard up to the next level with the Caddy's Touch Landscaping. Josh Dickinson is a former PGA Tour caddy, and his landscape designs are inspired by some of the most beautiful golf courses around the world. Call Josh at 501-794-2770 for all of your landscaping needs. Flower beds a mess? Josh's crew can give your home the curb appeal you've always wanted. The Caddy's Touch Landscaping also installs French drains, retaining walls, and they'll even take care of your irrigation maintenance needs. A Caddy's Touch Landscaping. Call today, 501-794-2770.
Join the Zone each weekday for the Entertainment Report, brought to you by Bell & Sword of Conway. Find out the very latest breaking news and entertainment each day on the Zone. Justin, DJ, and I will dish out what the stars and celebrities have going on, and you can catch it each day. Bell & Sword has everything for the best dressed man, from boots to suits. Check them out on Facebook or Instagram. Bell & Sword at their new and larger location at 1011 Oak Street.
Green to throw out of the gun. Here comes the pressure. In trouble. Looking to run. Now he's throwing downfield. Got a man. Completed the 35. Tesla to the 20. To the 10. To the 5. Touchdown Arkansas. 75 yards. Green kept the play alive. And Tesla did the rest.
And welcome back to the First Security Fifth Quarter Postgame Show. Marcus Elliott, Trey Shapp. I'm Randy Rainwater. You know, sometimes, and we said this before about Sam Pitman, sometimes honesty is maybe not always the best policy. And he said a couple things that certainly caught my attention. Once again, quote, they did not show anything new. Quote, nothing we have not seen already. And then when asked about Addison Nichols, and again, some of his trials and tribulations with the snap, and then he said, we got to get that fixed. How many more times do we need to hear that? What does it take to get it fixed?
Randy, I admire him. I really do, because he's just you can tell he's just an honest
person.
He's going to tell you the truth. But like you said, the truth in my
Is that what you want to hear, though, Mark? That did not show anything new, nothing we'd already seen before?
No, it's not what you want to hear. And so I think I respect his integrity, his honesty, and answering those questions that way. But the bottom line, when I heard him say, it's just not getting better, that's kind of your job, is to get it better, or to at least present a plan for it to get better. And it's not getting better. It's literally regressing as before our eyes.
Guys, too, what about halftime adjustments?
See, I'm not sure.
I thought they made that excellent halftime adjustments, Trey, when they came, especially offensively. They came out with the short game, and running the ball more. It was perfect.
But then they went away from it.
Exactly.
But my point of it is, why do you have to have nearly the same quote impact of these halftime adjustments now that you've got iPads?
Yeah,
They had
I agree.
They had 18 iPads.
I agree.
So why can't you see this? In fact, I saw one time Bobby Petrino basically address Taylor Green the moment he came off the field, and eventually followed him to the bench, and his back was to the camera, so I'm going to assume he was looking at the iPad. So I'm going to assume, based upon what he was seeing on that iPad, he's making instant corrections. You would think right then. Why do you have to wait until halftime?
Well,
halftime can be too late now.
It could be too late, but
it
there's
was
not a
still
whole lot of
14-14
adjustment to make if you
today.
can't block a team. Okay,
Yeah.
You know you can't block them. Now, deal with that. That's all. That's all. It's not correcting. It's just say, okay, we can't do this, so we're going to have to do this. It's that simple.
All right, let's talk with LC. LC, good evening. Welcome to the First Security Fifth Quarter Postgame Show.
My. I tell you.
My.
Look, Sam's been there 5 years. Last year was a wash that didn't work. But before that, he waited until this year to pay $55, and I don't know this, money to be there and to hold that side of the line. So I'm guessing this guy was our strongest asset.
Oh,
and then the center, no.
I'm saying, oh no, oh no. If that's
Well, I'm with you. Yeah, because 11 and 4 were getting through there like nobody was. Come on in.
They weren't getting blocked.
Oh my God! So you can't wait till year 5 to try to hone up your line when you know that was a problem from the go. We've been losing these kind of games every year, and every year it's usually their offense driving it down our defense after we've done a good job, but they're so tired out they can't stop them.
Yeah.
And Sam's, this is it, because we beat Auburn, that's great. We're going to lose this game, and then we're going to lose to Tennessee, and then Sam's job is gone after this. This was his one try, his one chance.
I think you may be right, LC.
And Green, he runs out to the right every time. I don't know if it's because 55 can't block anybody.
Yeah, duh. Duh. Well, when you start listen, LC, think about this. You're the quarterback. You got a play call, right? And then that play, you practice all week. Your reads, your projection, or your progressions. What happened? You're going to do this. If this happens, you're going to do this. If that's taken away, and you're going to do that. No. Instantly, his first thought is, okay, how am I going to escape first? How am I going to get away from this immediate pressure first? That's all he's thinking about. He can't think about the play.
His first reaction is always run right. And those guys know that. They know all we got to do is get him run right.
Why do you think he's running right, LC?
Well, I know, because hell, it ain't going to do no good to turn left.
He's just trying to survive. Oh, my God. I've never seen anything like it.
I know. I haven't either. It's unbelievable.
No, it's believable.
Sam's done. It's what he's supposed to be so strong at, and he sucks at making adjustments and making things the way. And you can't wait till your last year to try to fortify something that you should have been fortified 3 years ago. I mean, my goodness! And then they're going to spread this money around. Those boys at A&M are making what, $500,000 a year? All 4 of them that's sitting down in front of us, and our guys are going, "Oh my goodness." Oh, it was just oh my God. But if somehow, there's no way we'll beat Tennessee. We might, but we won't.
Now that would be unbelievable.
That's a tall task.
Yeah.
It's a big
absolutely.
ask. Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, I appreciate
Thank you, LC.
So, thank you very much.
All right, buddy. All right, this is the moment we all been waiting for. This is my man, Forest City Joe. Joseph, welcome to the First Security Fifth Quarter Postgame Show.
Randy, thank you. I am flat out disgusted. I mean, I watched this entire game, and I'm just disgusted. And let me get right to the nuts and bolts, Marcus.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Arkansas, I miss Coach. First of all, let me say this. I miss Coach Broyles because he would never have allowed this.
You're right.
He'd have fired everybody on sight.
You're right.
If he'd have lost at home to Liberty. That loss to Liberty, who had never beat a SEC team no matter how bad the SEC team was, that loss to Liberty at home should have been the end. Today, it's the end, gentlemen.
Yeah.
That Arkansas football started going downhill when they started hiring people like John L. Smith, Chad Morris, and now offensive line coach that had never been a head coach in his life. Yeah. You want to know why A&M is beating Arkansas every year now? That's the reason. It's not just talent. That's the reason.
I agree.
And Randy, going into this, they keep talking about this 11, 12 out of 13 A&M done beat us now. Do you realize going out of the Southwest Conference, Arkansas had a 41, 24, and 1 record against A&M? We were in the same conference for 70 years, Randy and Mark.
Yes, sir.
70 years. And we were able to compete and to win against A&M, and we can't do it now. Tell me why, Randy.
Yep.
A lot of it has to do with coaching, Joe.
Just think about it. What I just said.
A lot of it has to do with coaching.
Coach
you just rattled off. Did Bielema ever beat A&M?
Nope.
No.
No.
Did Morris ever beat A&M? No.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
John L.
And
Smith.
And now Pitman has only won once.
Was the COVID year when A&M had a 7-5 record, and Pitman had all kind of fifth-year seniors and stuff. Here's the bottom line, Randy and Marcus. Sam Pitman was not qualified for this job. Coach Broyles had a policy for years. He wouldn't hire anything but proven head coaches. Remember, Randy?
Yes, sir.
And he one time he veered away from that, and he vowed to never do it again. That's when he hired Jack Crow. And then when he found out Crow after 2 years couldn't do it, he fired him after one game, Randy, after the Citadel game. Frank would not, is rolling over his grave, because he would not, if he was here, be putting up with this. This is just sad. We grew up, Marcus. I grew up with people like you, Houston Dale Nutt.
Oh, yeah.
Robert Farrell, and all these type people. Bruce Hay from Blythe.
Oh, yeah.
I remember all these guys. Look at the coaches you had, gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
From Frank Broyles to Lou Holtz to Ken Hatfield.
And the assistants, too.
Houston Nutt, say what you want to about it.
Oh, yeah.
Houston Nutt could get a team ready, and he could win some of these games.
That's right.
He beat Alabama.
Absolutely.
He beat Alabama more than once. He beat LSU. He beat these. He went to LSU and beat them when they were number 1 in the country, Randy, and won 8 games that year, and he got fired. Now I was mad at him back then. I'm not gonna sit there and lie to you, but I would take Houston Nutt back in a heartbeat over what we've had. The downfall of Arkansas football has been the bad coaches that they've hired. You let a woman who was leaving and going to take another job, a temporary AD, hire Chad Morris. The people in charge up there has failed the program. And I know Hunter Yurchek going to get all the credit that he should behind John Calipari. But as far as football, Sam Pittman should have been gone after Liberty. And he definitely should have been gone after last season. Did you see how last season ended?
Oh, yeah.
48-10 Auburn wins in Fayetteville, and 48-14 Missouri win, and he still got a chance to come back. Bobby Petrino was nothing more than a hire to sell tickets. That's what he was.
Wow.
And I'm a big Bobby fan. He's the best coach we've had, him and Houston Nutt, since Coach Broyles hired Nutt. But He's the best coach, Petrino, we've had, and really the only one. Think about it, gentlemen. Think about the guys I just named that you've had at head coach.
You're right.
Unproven, in over their head guys that had no business getting this job. And this idea that nobody wants the Arkansas job is a bunch of garbage. People want a job. This is an SEC job just like any other job. And Arkansas, when they're at their best, Petrino proved during those years. Guess what? Against Texas A&M as head coach in Arlington, Bobby Petrino was 3-0. Randy, he was 3-0.
Wow.
These other coaches can't hardly win a game because they're unqualified for the job. And I don't know why people just won't call this out, and I'm going to get off of this, gentlemen, but I'm just going to say this in close. The powers that be, the people that run the program that's in charge up there, Jake Beckett, a lot of people got mad at him, but Arkansas either is going to get in this NIL business and go out and get some of these big-time players, and Arkansas, the situation we're in, we got to overpay for players.
Yep.
In other words, we're not going to beat Alabama out for a player if that player just want to go to school right now. We're going to have to overpay to get these type players. And right now, you run around asking fans for money. I mean, it's just it's unreal what's happened to this program. And Texas A&M should not be beating us every year. Missouri should not be beating us every year. All these people are beating us every year, Randy, Marcus.
Mm-hmm.
And
yep.
So all I can say is it should end, and the sooner, the better. Thank you, gentlemen, very much.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
It comes down to ROI, return on investment. Are you willing to give the money to the university? Right now, there aren't a lot of people that are willing to give the money because of what they've seen on the field.
All right, when we come back, we'll hear from Landon Jackson and Isaac Tesla. The First Security fifth quarter postgame show will continue.
Touchdown, Edwards Food Giant.
While you may never actually hear it in a football game, we all know who the real MVP of your watch party is this fall, and that's Edwards Food Giant. Your choice of chicken, brisket, ribs, smoked sausage, and pulled pork, all straight from their own smokehouse, as well as an ultimate lineup of side items from the deli. And at their newest store in North Little Rock, Edwards now has dry-aged beef, where whole cuts of certified Angus beef are aged for 28 days in a temperature-controlled cooler. So let your watch party be the envy of the neighborhood with the help of Edwards Food Giant. The meat people.
When it's time to fly out of Little Rock National Airport, the Doctor of Football wants you to get in the game with Expressway Airport Parking and let us make plays for you. All you have to do is choose covered or uncovered parking, and the game is on. Within minutes, as our 5-star recruit, you will be chauffeured to the airport's front door, no walking, waiting, or anticipating. Expressway Parking is secure. Our shuttle team is available 24 hours a day, offering fast, secure airport parking for less. We will not fumble an opportunity to serve you. Choose Expressway Airport Parking. Need more confirmation of our parking talents? Check out Google reviews for our parking ratings.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. The Netherlands is a charming, lovely country that is consistently rated as a most desirable place to live. But recently, when two architects designed a 74-square-foot apartment in Rotterdam with the most luxurious of materials, it seems as if they might have lost their minds. 74 square feet, that's hardly room to turn around. But then again, here's a thought. If you lived in a 74 square foot apartment, you probably wouldn't have to worry about your mother-in-law visiting very often. You know what's better than a 74 square foot apartment? A Honda 4Trax 4-wheeler. Double B's is giving away 2 of these beauties to 2 lucky customers. Come by any Double B's location to register. Double B's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go 4-wheeling. That's Double B's.
These paws were made for walking. Join us at Care for Animals Paws on the Runway, a celebration of fashion and fur presented by Subaru of Little Rock. On Thursday, October 3rd at Rusty Tractor Vineyards from 6 to 9 p.m., we'll feature a runway show and virtual auction that will have tails wagging. Since 1998, CARE has rescued nearly 5,000 dogs and cats from kill shelters in Arkansas. That's a lot of unconditional love, so purchase tickets today at careforanimals.org.
For over 30 years, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse on 65th and University has been Arkansas's truck accessory headquarters and the only stop for all your truck parts and accessories. If it goes on a truck, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse has it. Like step bars, bed covers, toolboxes, and ladder racks, as well as gooseneck, fifth wheel hitches, and drop hitches. All this and more can be found at Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse, a WeatherTech Diamond dealer, 501-568-0040, or online at arkansastruck.com. And ask about the all-new RSI Smart Cap.
Hey Razorback fans, it's Quinn Grovey. Check out the new location of Bellins Ford in Conway. Suits, shirts, vests, also polos with Arkansas logo gear from Johnny O and Peter Millar. A store within a store with Arkansas-made Martin Dingman shoes and leather goods. Fantastic service with a tailor-owned staff to fit you perfectly. Go to the new location, Bellins Ford, 1011 Oak Street, Conway, or on Facebook and Instagram.
Join the Zone each Monday for Game Balls and Jockstraps, brought to you by A Caddy's Touch Landscaping. Find out who made the best, average, and worst headlines in sports and entertainment each Monday as Justin and DJ give you their Game Balls and Jockstraps on the Zone from 10 to 1. It's all brought to you by A Caddy's Touch Landscaping, 501-794-2770. Call today to get your landscape updated to a whole new level and be listening for Game Balls and Jockstraps only on 103.7 The Buzz.
Bring a man in motion, off the zone read. They hand it to Jaquindon Jackson, trying to get to the edge. Outside the numbers at the 5, touchdown Arkansas! Jackson from 8 yards out, and the Razorbacks grab the lead again.
And welcome back once again to the First Security Fifth Quarter Postgame Show. Marcus Elliott, Trey Shapp, I'm Randy Rainwater. Here's Landon Jackson and Isaac Tesla.
Yeah, Landon, the defense played so well today, and then Texas A&M kind of came to life in the fourth quarter. What was the key maybe early on, and what were they able to do to have some success there at the end of the game?
Yeah, I think really I want to say it was one drive and then one play that really, did it for them, and that's why every snap you got to be going full tilt 100%. You can't slow down at all, and no excuses, but one series and one play, we play the way we know we could play, and the game's a whole different story, So that turnover battle, we've been stressing all season. We need more turnovers, whether it be forced fumbles, interceptions. We got to get more turnovers to win ball games. So defensively, I feel like we could have played a lot better of a game. I feel like we did some good things, but at the same time, I don't think we did good enough.
I know you're disappointed with the loss, but your first sack and that big tackle for loss, you made a huge impact. Just how good was it to have your impact maybe translated into some stats and have a good game here today?
It felt great. I'd much rather have not as good of a game and come out with a win. I'd much rather have a game like Auburn where I think I had like 2 tackles, but we won the football game. I'm not in it. It's not a me thing, I wouldn't give a damn if I had 0 stats at the end of the season. My goal is to win football games. I didn't come back to get 15 sacks if I'm going to win 2 games, I'm not worried about stats. So my biggest thing is doing all I can to give my team the opportunity to win ball games, and I didn't do that today, so it's frustrating.
Isaac, how tough was the field position battle for the offense today? Because it seemed like y'all were backed up pretty much all game.
Yeah, definitely. That was definitely a big struggle for us. Felt like every drive we had, we started within the 10-yard line. So, it almost feels like you're fighting an uphill battle at that point. But at the end of the day, it comes down to execution. No matter where you start on the field, as an offense, we got to be able to execute and put into motion what we had planned the entire week.
And you hadn't had the most production up to this point of the season. Had a breakout game today. Just kind of what was the key to your breakout performance today?
Once again, it's nothing to do with me. It just happened to the schemes that the defense were running, and then obviously Talon was looking my way quite a bit. So it's nothing to do with my performance. It's about what they were doing defensively, and also execution at all parts of the game. Obviously up front, and then Talon throwing the ball as well. So.
Yeah, Isaac, could you describe the 75-yard touchdown? Yeah, I know Talon bought some time by scrambling, but from your perspective, kind of how'd that play go down, and how good did it feel?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it all year. Talon, crazy what he can do in and out of the pocket. Obviously, that play he stepped up, and I just saw that there was no one over the top of the field, so I drifted and took it up the field, obviously. It was kind of an out-of-body experience to score in a big stage like that. All the glory goes to God, but yeah, it was a good feeling.
I know you're out there trying to get open, separation, all that. But Talon was under a lot of pressure. Aggies obviously have a really good pass rush, good players. How tough do you think it was for Talon today, with the kind of pressure he was under most of the day?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a team sport. So, I mean, you can't really say too much or put too much blame on any individual person. Obviously, as receivers, we got to do better getting open and making plays when they're presented to us. And then, obviously, up front, struggle a little bit blocking and picking up blitzes today. So, I mean, all phases, I wouldn't say it's necessarily on 10 in any way. But, we just got to go out there and execute better.
And for both y'all, I guess, Lane, this is your third A&M game here. Isaac, your second. But it always seems to be really close and always seems to go A&M's way, except for 2021. Just how tough a series has it been just from your all's limited experience and probably being aware of the history, too?
Yeah, I mean, they're a talented team every year. They're one of those schools who, I mean, every year they got really good players. It's great getting to play them. I'm from Texas, so I know a lot of the players on their team, and it's always a fun game. The atmosphere is great. It's like a home game for both, So I really enjoy it. I don't enjoy that we've lost them. I wish we could have pulled, for sure this year off. I wish we could pull all of them off though. But I really enjoy it, and it's a fun game.
Yeah, it's definitely always a fight. Last year was a little bit different of a game than this year, obviously, but it's always fun to go out and play in such a a fun, big atmosphere. Like Lennon said, at the end of the day, we just want to win games, but yeah, it was fun.
Isaac, I'm curious, when the offense is struggling to move the ball, and you mentioned it's all areas of the offense, just what are the conversation like on the sideline, the mood like on the sideline?
Yeah, it's tough to say. It depends on the situation, but I think most of the time, if we're in a kind of a rut, just to make sure that everyone's keeping their head up and just kind of relying on what we've been doing all year in practice and in the games before. Because, when we're playing well and we're executing, I don't think anyone out there can stop us. So just remembering that and reminding everyone of that.
Landon, when Isaac was talking about Talon, I saw you kind of nodding over there. I know you're obviously focused on defense, but I know you're close to Talon. He's been a team leader. Just how tough do you think a day like today is, for the quarterback? And you got to give the Aggies credit, I get that. But how tough a day do you think it was for him?
I feel like it was tough. They have a really talented D-line, I know a lot of, just being a defensive lineman, I know a lot of those guys. And, whenever after we clean up what we just did on the field, I'll watch on the big screen or on the field and just, watching us, but also watching my position as well. And, man, they got some really good D-linemen. And, all credit to them. But, Talon's a really talented player and really just needs to keep his head up, get back to work come Monday. And, we got to flush it come Monday, and prepare for Tennessee because they're a really talented team.
Yep. Knowing him like you guys have gotten to know him the last few months, how do you think he'll respond to a tough situation like it was today?
I feel like he'll keep his head up. Biggest thing is not look at the media and go to work. So that dude's a very positive person. So he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna let it affect him. I think he's gonna bounce back and do all he can to go out there and continue to make plays.
You got a thought on that, Isaac?
Yeah, at the end of the day, he's a football player, and you can't let one game define who you are as a player or who you are as a person. So, like you said, who cares what the media says? We're going to move forward and play Tennessee this week. Good team.
I got one more if that's okay. How tough has it been to play I know you guys are flying on charter planes, staying in nice hotels and all that, but playing 4 games and 4 out on the road out of 5. There's no SEC team that does that besides Arkansas. And how tough has that been? And now you get a stretch at home, but, man, you got all these ranked teams coming in. Kind of what are you looking forward to?
Really looking forward to getting back and playing in front of our fan base, Wouldn't say it's as tough as people might think to go to an away stadium, and, travel 4 games in a row. My thing is Coach Pitman always tells us, roll the football out there. It doesn't matter what time, where we're playing at. We got to go out there and be the same guys. It doesn't matter what stadium we're in. I mean, we can go out there and play at 6 a.m. We got to be the same team. And so that's kind of how we took this approach. But it will be great being able to get back to our stadium and play in front of our fan base, in front of our families. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I definitely say I'm excited to get back home. I'm someone that really kind of enjoys away games. The crowd noise and everyone, kind of shouting your name kind of gives me juice. So, I mean, like you said, it's probably not as tough as people make it out to be, but I'm definitely excited to be back home.
Nice one, Jackson. And just following up on that, you guys, obviously the record's very different, but now returning home compared to last year, just aside from the record, the stats, everything, how different does it feel like maybe inside the locker room now as you kind of return home for the second half of the season compared to where you were last year?
Yeah, I feel like we're a lot closer this year. We're a really tight-knit group, I feel like. And we can't let a game like a loss, a tough loss, real close game that we wish we could have had. We can't let that tear us apart. We got to stay together. And continue to fight. SEC plays brutal. You're playing ranked teams and crap. There's teams in the SEC that aren't ranked that are, better than ranked teams. So every week's a tough game. So we got to stay together and continue to fight. And I think that's what I love about this team. We're really close. Defense close with the offense. O-line close with the D-line. So we just got to stay tight knit and we stay together and continue to work, and it'll work out for us.
Yeah, you hate to play the comparison game comparing last year to this year just because there's so many different pieces, but I would definitely say there's a lot of camaraderie within the team, both, obviously as an offense and as a defense, but both as the team as a whole. I think there's a lot of support going both ways.
By the way, that was Isaac Tesla and Landon Jackson. For the record, for what it's worth, this was starting point for Arkansas tonight. This is from the drive chart. Mm-hmm. Arkansas 25, Arkansas 33, Arkansas 25, Arkansas 8, Arkansas 9, Arkansas 25, Arkansas 15, Arkansas 7, Arkansas 20, Arkansas 10, Arkansas 15, Arkansas 25, Arkansas 10. Got to make field position though. You got to just, if nothing else, turn that field around as best as you can. But obviously, Arkansas didn't do a good job turning that field around when needed. Let's talk with Mark. Mark, good evening. Welcome to the First Security Fifth Quarter Postgame Show.
Hello, gentlemen.
Good evening.
I agree with a lot of what Sports City Joe said. We went cheap. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Sam Pitman. I wanted this to work for him. I absolutely did. I don't ever feel like we're playing the best players. Marcus, you played up there. You played for Lou Holtz. Mm-hmm. I remember Lou Holtz subbing all 5 offensive linemen out during a possession.
Oh, you knew you were going to play the third possession of each half.
Yeah, there you go.
The second team line.
Why don't Marcus, when, for example, Joshua Braun 5 times a game let somebody come untouched across his face in the A-gap, why don't somebody snatch him off the field so he can look for a minute?
Yes, sir. No, Mark, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Are we not? Yeah, are we not competing? Is that what it is? Because everybody just has their job because they were the starter.
It's like you accept it. It's like it's accepted that that's going to happen. And, you're going to miss tackles. You're going to let folks. Yeah. You're going to miss landmarks. You're going to make bad blocks.
I remember you saying before we should be competing. You should have to win your job every day.
Absolutely.
You should have to win it every day.
Yes, sir.
But
I bet you do it at Alabama. I bet you have to win it every day.
I guarantee you do it at Alabama. I remember last year we played Alabama. Landon Jackson come unblocked off the end, sacked the quarterback. He took the tackle off the very next play.
Yes, sir.
Didn't come back in the rest of the game.
Yes, sir.
But one thing I want to talk about is I love Taylor Green. Taylor Green is a terrific athlete. Seems like a great human being. He doesn't seem to be able to run this off. I know he's running for his life a lot, but he misses so much. Go back to Tyler Wilson. Tyler Wilson didn't have a great offensive line. That's why we all know how tough Tyler Wilson is. But he understood to throw his receivers open. He would throw them open, he would get rid of the ball quick before pressure got to him. And if you look 6 or 7 times a game, Petrino, even the announcer during this game, even commented on it.
Yeah,
that Petrino asked Taylor Green, "What are you thinking?" 3 times. What are you thinking?
They're gonna do that every play. Listen, let me tell you something, Mark.
Yes, sir.
If it wasn't for Taylor Green, you really got a problem. Trust me.
Yeah. I agree
you
there.
really got a problem.
I agree with that. He's a terrific athlete.
There's not just that. What happened on the big play for the touchdown, in effect, was the worst thing. Because it's not just he can't run the offense. It's they're having to depend on this athleticism you're talking about to compensate from this sad offensive line.
I agree with that. I can't argue
and
that,
it's
Marcus.
sad. So
it is sad.
You saw what happened when they put the substitute everybody was yelling for. You saw what happened last week when they put him in, didn't you?
Didn't go very well.
I mean, he got
okay.
Yeah, well, he got 3
me.
plays and took no snaps during the week. I mean, so I don't fault him for that.
You may
he
not
took no
score
snaps during the week.
The defense may have more points than the offense. For the opposition defense may have more points than the offense if it weren't for
But
this
Marcus,
boy's
what I'm saying
athleticism.
is, well, I agree with that, but what I'm saying is to run this offense, he had Tyrone Broden.
What offense is, Mark? What offense is?
No, listen. He had Tyrone Broden running a skinny post across the middle, wide open. If he hits him on time,
Mark,
it's he was in a
Mark
pocket.
on time.
No pressure.
Did he have time?
He did. He was in the pocket with no pressure. He misses him, throws it behind him.
Mark,
it should have been picked.
Let me let those 300-pounders hit you every play.
I agree.
Let's let them hit you every play, and then you have the perfect timing going forward.
I agree.
It's
with that,
amazing
but
he was
back.
over 50% today. To me, that's stunning, based on what he was facing.
Yeah, but go back and watch the. And I get.
Well, but go back to the touchdown too, Mark. Go back to the touchdown. Right?
Yeah, it was a terrific play.
Listen, everybody can't do that. And that's what Bobby sees.
No, I agree with that.
That's what Bobby sees, and but they cannot do that. The other team got scholarships too. The other team gets
that's right.
Coaches get paid too.
They get paychecks too, Marcus.
There you go. Exactly.
That's right.
You're right.
But
The scholarship thing doesn't work anymore.
That's
our coaches' paychecks, Marcus, are on the line. They're on the line, and they probably lost it today. Because
I agree with you.
I agree with you. I don't. You had to win this game because y'all were talking about earlier. Do you beat Tennessee? I don't see any way.
Nope.
I mean, first off, you can't play at home, and Tennessee is really good. So I don't know that you needed to win this game. I think to get bowl eligible.
Absolutely.
But I agree with what Joe said. You got to. I mean, you paid $4 million for a coach, and
$5 million.
That's what you got.
The problem is, too,
Mark, thank you.
Randy Marcus,
mm-hmm.
Having to pay off Brett Bielema, having to pay off Chad Morris. What was in the coffers to go out and get a head coach?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. And maybe that was the problem, is what you're saying, Trey.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, let's talk with Wally. Wally, good evening. Welcome to the First Security Fifth Quarter Postgame Show.
Hey, guys, just a few things really quick. I know just wanted to touch on a couple of our coaches. First of all, Bobby, ask you guys, if any of y'all at things today than you were 10, 15 years. And I think that's a big thing with the fans and with his hire, is that they expected him to be 2011 Bobby Petrino.
Mm-hmm.
And we're getting 2024 Bobby Petrino. We're not getting a coach that's 50 and still full of piss and vinegar. We're getting a peephole. The game is probably passed by. He's probably better than Enos, but he ain't.
That's a good point, Wally.
From 2011. And the other thing is, he's not a miracle worker. Taylor Green is not Ryan Mallett. Taylor Green is not Lamar Jackson. So a lot of times when the great offensive coordinators, a lot of times it's great players that made, and they made their names with them. Second coach I want to talk about, of course, is the head coach, Sam Pitman. Someone else, another coach. Tommy Bowden was at Clemson for 10 years. Never had a losing season. Okay? The year before he was fired, he went 9. The following year, he started 3-3. And the AD there was probably Terry Don Phillips still, and said, enough's enough. We know he is what he is.
Yeah.
And he's never getting any better. And he was off a 9-win season. Statues for.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't even go outside. They made the guy that was full of Dabo interim. He had never even been a coordinator, won the job full-time, and then started to build. Sometimes it is just a little change, especially if you're right there, knocking on the door, and you're about close one-score losses. And who's the main thing back in 2022, 2023, 2024? We changed lots of coaches, lots of players. There is only one constant in that formula, and it's Sam Pittman. And we've probably got some good coaches on could do as good or better than him and trigger. But like I said, Clemson didn't even settle for good. We're settling for worse. But a hard decision was made, and then they took off from there. All these shows trying to dissect plays, Talon didn't do this, Blackstock, for the last 3 years, you guys are wasting air and energy unless you focus on the root cause, and that's what big to fix their businesses. It's called relentless root cause. You drill down is actually causing your problems. Forget the Band-Aids. Get the bullet out, and it's not going to change until they do that. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Wally. You're clipping badly. I'm not sure that was his phone or otherwise, but
might have been.
He was clipping badly. All right, this is the First Security Fifth Quarter Postgame Show. Marcus Elliott, Trey Shepp. I'm Randy Rainwater. Back with more in just one moment. Stay tuned.
American pastime. Do you smell that? That's the smell of men being men.
I think I'm ready.
On 103.7 The Buzz, KABZ Little Rock.
Take your yard up to the next level with the Caddy's Touch Landscaping. Josh Dickinson is a former PGA Tour caddy, and his landscape designs are inspired by some of the most beautiful golf courses around the world. Call Josh at 501-794-2770 for all of your landscaping needs. Flower beds a mess? Josh's crew can give your home the curb appeal you've always wanted. The Caddy's Touch Landscaping also installs French drains, retaining walls, and they'll even take care of your irrigation maintenance needs. A Caddy's Touch Landscaping. Call today, 501-794-2770.
Ethan Bates, Conference USA Player of the Year here for HJ Trailer Sales. It's finally fall, my favorite time of the year. Well, okay, except for maybe baseball season. When I need a dependable trailer to get in and out of the woods, there's no better place than at HJ Trailer Sales in Hot Springs. From sales to repairs, HJ Trailer Sales keeps me ready all hunting season long. Being from Hot Springs, it doesn't hurt that they're my hometown trailer store. Family owned and operated. Go to hjtrailersales.com or on Facebook.
Tune in to 103.7 The Buzz every Tuesday night at 8 for Between the Mats high school football show with your hosts, Matt Wilcox and Matt McJunkins. You'll hear coaches' interviews, player interviews. You'll also get weekly top 10s and player of the week picks for each classification every week. Plus, t-shirt giveaways and fan interactive pick'em challenges with prizes. Between the Mats on The Buzz each Tuesday is brought to you by Hootens Football, your number one source for Arkansas high school football.
Pay attention. This happens fast. Routine, scheduled, maintenance. You know it's coming one day, but that day's in the future. Then the future comes, and your wallet's not ready for that $250 maintenance. But your forklift is. It needs it. Good thing you're smart. You're buying a used forklift from Medley Equipment Company this summer, and its first planned maintenance will be free because Medley keeps you moving.
I'm Branch Manager Jeff Tefts. Visit medleycompany.com or come see us at 121 House Court, North Little Rock, Arkansas.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start. Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV? What
No way, dude.
Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen.
See Agent Steve Ferguson in Little Rock, Bo Beavis in Cabot, or Daniel Vickers in Sherwood.
Progressive presents Renters MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Joe Fallon's bedroom mini fridge. Sure, this pint-sized chiller's max capacity is 3 soda cans, but what it lacks in stature, it makes up in cooling strength. Each beverage a perfect 37 degrees every time. And the 2 feet Joe walks to get a drink, priceless. That's why his mini fridge is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Tune in to Out of Bounds each Monday for Weekend Recap, brought to you by Fleet Management Services. Serving Central Arkansas for over 20 years, they're your small to mid-sized fleet specialist that also takes care of our fleet at Signal Media. Fleet Management Services is now hiring for Loop Tech, Tire Tech, and light maintenance. 8 paid holidays and paid vacation, paid health insurance, and 401k. Pay depends on experience and signing bonus. Apply in person at 901 East 8th Street in Little Rock.
So Ramsey will try a 45-yard field goal attempt from the right hash mark to give the Razorbacks the lead. Razorbacks attempted a fake on the last one. It didn't work. It's a good snap. The kick is on the way, and the kick is good. The kick is good, and Kyle Ramsey has given the Razorbacks the lead. 45 yards for the transfer from Abilene Christian.
Welcome back to the First Security Fifth Quarter Post-Game Show. Randy Rainwater, Marcus Elliott. I am Trey Shep. Let's give you the scores from the Southeastern Conference today. Right now in the third quarter, number 2 Georgia at number 4 Alabama, 5:06 to play. It's 30-15. Bama with the lead, and they're about to get the football back. Georgia just got back into the end zone and went for 2 and was able to convert the 2-point conversion. 4:47 to play in the third in Death Valley in Tiger Stadium. Number 14 LSU leads South Alabama 35-10. Finals from earlier today. Number 1 Texas defeated Mississippi State 35-13 in Austin. That's their first SEC win. They are 1-0 in the SEC. Number 6 Ole Miss lost to Kentucky at home today, 20-17. It's the first time Kentucky has beaten a ranked Ole Miss team, I believe, since 1977 in Oxford. And on the Plains today, boy, Auburn 0-2 in the SEC now after losing to number 21 Oklahoma, 27-21. Oklahoma comes back in that one and wins on the Plains in Auburn, and of course Arkansas losing to Texas A&M today here in AT&T Stadium. Number 24th ranked Texas A&M Aggies, 21-17. The Aggies are 2-0 in the SEC, along with, I guess that's it. That's 2-0 in the SEC, so the Aggies are on top of the league right now.
And Georgia just scored a moment ago. Actually, again, they went for 2. First time they were successful after their first touchdown. Had a penalty, so they had to kick the extra point. This time, no penalty, got the extra point. Or the try for 2 was successful. That's why the score sounds a little unusual. 30-15. And in the first half, it looked like Alabama could absolutely do no wrong. In the second half, it's a little bit different of a story, at least so far. Let's see if they can get that parade started back. That is Alabama. Even Nick Saban was giving out some fist bumps in that first half.
And Randy and Marcus, I know we were talking last week about if Arkansas could take care of business, come in here, beat Texas A&M. You're going to have a top 5 Tennessee team coming to Fayetteville next week. Would you think College Game Day would be there? Yes, we thought so. College Game Day is going to Berkeley, California next week for the ACC matchup with number 7 Miami at Cal.
Oh my goodness.
The first time ever they've gone to Berkeley.
Wow. All together. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
that is amazing
hurts.
into itself.
Because you talk about, okay, what's it going to take to get back to where you're not middle tier of the SEC? Marcus, Randy, I know some people like College Game Day. Some people don't. Well, below, maybe to get to the middle tier. Some people like College Game Day. Some people don't. But you cannot pay the money that it would take to get that kind of exposure and advertising with having a College Game Day on campus.
You're right.
You just can't. And that's a missed opportunity by the Razorbacks.
It's not going to happen now. I think it's safe to say, not only with
year.
what you just got through saying, but
nope.
It's is it the chicken or the egg? Which is it?
What do you mean?
Well,
what came first?
Which comes first? Do you have to change out this entire staff? Do you have to change everything out in order? Is like Faquan was talking about, changing the culture, changing this, changing that. I mean, is it as simply as changing the staff? Is that?
Well, I mean, would you keep this standpoint?
No, I'm asking.
Changed.
I am asking you.
Of course. I mean, it's leadership. It starts at the top. That's who you hold responsible. That's who you pay.
So now the next step is, it's not just replacing the coach. You have to replace him so that you don't, again, just keep repeating this same cycle, which means just as Arkansas reached in the back pocket to pay John Calipari, you're going to have to reach in the back pocket. If you want a program changer, you're going to have to pay for it.
Who's it going to be?
That's the thing. That's the thing. You have to determine, are you going to run with the big dogs, or are you going to sit over there on the porch with Vanderbilt and those guys? You just got to make that decision.
I agree.
They made the decision in basketball.
I agree. Even though Musselman did make it easy on Arkansas by
yes, he did.
Pointing out. But anyway, that's another story into itself. All right, just a few numbers to pass along to you for what it's worth. Taylor Green finished 23 of 41, 279 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 56%. Jaquindon Jackson, 10 carries, 37 yards. Wow, hard to believe.
That's the problem.
He only had 10 carries. Wow.
That's your problem.
1 touchdown. Devin Bell, for the longest, was the leading rusher for Arkansas. He did finish with 2 carries for 20 yards.
Had the longest run of the game.
Yeah, still had the longest run of the game. 25 yards on the night. And let's see. Braylon Russell did get 3 carries tonight for 15 yards. I'd like to see him a few more times tonight.
Randy, Marcus, I got a quick question. Coach Pitman mentioned cramping in his post-game press conference. This game was played indoors, where it's a comfortable 72 degrees all the time, maybe even a little cooler, depending on how many doors are open at one given time or not. Is this a hydration issue throughout the week?
Makes you begin to wonder, because Andrew Armstrong, he suffered cramps. It looked like cramps all night long. And one time, I'm not sure he was – I thought he might miss several plays. Next thing you knew, they showed him on the sidelines working on the stationary bike, and then he was back out there. But I don't know. It's a great question. Shame on them if they're not hydrating. But shame on the training staff for not making them hydrate.
Yep. I don't get it.
Mule Rider, good evening. Welcome to the First Security Fifth Quarter Postgame Show.
Well, good afternoon, or good evening, guys. How are y'all doing?
Good evening to you.
Hey, so, I thought I was finally going to have a Saturday night where all 3 of my teams won. It looks like the Mule Riders are going to clobber the Wonder Boys, and UCA looks like they're going to pull their game out. But unfortunately, Arkansas couldn't pull it out. But let me just say something that you guys just talked about as far as wanting to play and to pay to run with the big boys. Where do y'all think that money's going to come from? Because it's not going to be
That's
from
a
your
great
average Joe
question.
Arkansas.
That's another great question to itself.
And we don't need any more ridiculous, things from the athletic director saying that Arkansans need to pay up $100 a month or whatever that nonsense was. I mean, I understand, but I think he needs to realize the average Joe in Arkansas, and I don't know why. I don't know. To be honest, I think Arkansas fans, we just need to lock in. We need to be bowl eligible each year, jump up, and maybe have a 10-win season. But someone's got to lose at the end of the day, and I just don't know if Arkansas's got the money or the pockets like Alabama and Georgia. And I mean, someone's got to be mid-tier. So what's wrong with being mid-tier and maybe in 20 or 21, still in the top 25, something like that. So y'all have a good evening.
And by the way, throw in Ole Miss to that as well, who seems to have the money.
They should have paid for a kicker.
Let's talk to Scott. Scott, good evening. Welcome to the First Security Fifth Quarter Postgame Show.
Hey, guys. I appreciate y'all taking my call. Look, guys, I mean, we can finger point everything all we want. Fact of the matter is, as much as I love watching Green play, he didn't identify the blitz all night, okay? And,
blitz?
Can't. He didn't pick it up.
You
all
think
night
the
long.
blitz was the problem?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh,
also,
Scott.
he doesn't feel the pocket. He doesn't feel the pocket collapsing around him. There's several times he could have slid forward in the pocket. He did it in the first series. He slid forward, found an open receiver, and that was the difference in the game, quite honestly. His inability to read where pressure was coming from and his inability to find the soft spot in the pocket and move forward in it and stay out of trouble. He holds on to the ball too long, pocket collapses on him, then he spins out of it, and he's running for his life.
He didn't have a chance to hold on to it too long, Scott.
Come on now.
I don't know what game you're watching.
All we talked about for the first month is how great our offensive line was. Now you're going to say it's all the offensive line's problem? Come on, guys.
Scott, did you listen to the coaching staff? We didn't say it was just the offensive line. We said it's your backs. We said it was the pass game selection. We said it was the short game. Hey, Scott, did you see what happened when they came out, when they made the adjustments with the short passing game in the third quarter? Did he pick up the open man? Did he throw the ball to him? Did they move the ball down the field?
They moved it a little bit, but I wouldn't say they were juggernaut. I mean,
Scott, I would love to see you escape some of that pressure he was getting and make the plays he did.
Let's have an honest conversation.
I'm being totally honest.
Do you think he is above average in his ability to read defenses in the SEC?
Oh my goodness, yes.
Wow. Okay.
Scott, you don't have an opportunity to read defenses. You're listening to something. Scott, did you play? Have you played quarterback?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
You did play quarterback?
Yeah.
Okay, Scott. Where'd you play?
Look, man. Here's
okay,
thing,
no. Where'd
look,
you play?
I didn't play in the SEC or anything.
No. Not even the SEC. In high school, Scott. Where'd you play in high school? Quarterback.
You there?
I'm here.
Hello?
Hello, Scott.
We're here.
We're with you, Scott. We hear you, lad.
Oh, Scott.
Okay.
I see.
Okay. All right. I think that kind of brings us to this particular point in time. I think we need to say so long and good night. I think we run the end of the rope for this First Security Fifth Quarter Postgame Show. Stay with us. We'll come back and wrap it up in just one moment.
Spring has sprung, and that spells fun. Fun is in Arts Marine in North Little Rock. Arts has new 2024 G3 Tritoons. That's right, I said Tritoons in stock. And as always, don't forget Arts Marine is your John Boat headquarters. They're powered by Tohatsu and Yamaha Outboards. Arts also has an excellent selection of the ever so popular G3 boats, models 22, 2023 and 2024. Make your summer one to remember by stopping by Arch Marine in North Little Rock. Take the Levy exit.
Hey Razorback fans, it's Quinn Grovey. Check out the new location of Bell & Sword in Conway. Suits, shirts, vests, also polos with Arkansas logo gear from Johnny O and Peter Millar. A store within a store with Arkansas-made Martin Dingman shoes and leather goods. Fantastic service with a tailor-on staff to fit you perfectly. Go to the new location, Bell & Sword, 1011 Oak Street, Conway, or on Facebook and Instagram.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
You can live out your MasterChef dreams when you find a professional on Angie to tackle your dream kitchen remodel. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
For over 30 years, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse on 65th and University has been Arkansas's truck accessory headquarters and the only stop for all your truck parts and accessories. If it goes on a truck, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse has it. Like step bars, bed covers, toolboxes, and ladder racks, as well as gooseneck, fifth wheel hitches, and drop hitches. All this and more can be found at Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse, a WeatherTech Diamond dealer, 501-568-0040, or online at arkansastruck.com, and ask about the all-new RSI Smart Cap. Join Puppy Up Little Rock for a dog walk around MacArthur Park and a silent auction in the pavilion to fundraise for important canine cancer research on Saturday, October 12th from 11 to 2 p.m. at the MacArthur Park Pavilion in downtown Little Rock. The walk starts at 1 p.m. Kids under 14 are free. The registration is $20 at puppyupwalk.org/Little Rock. For more information, contact Fran at puppyup.org or 501-690-1903.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
For 54 years, you've trusted Sigma Supply for all your packaging and shipping needs. And now, as part of Brady Plus, they've got even more to offer. From janitorial supplies, facility essentials, and food service disposables, Sigma Supply has you covered. And ordering is a breeze with over 50,000 new products online at sigmasupply.com. And do not forget to call sales manager David Breitenberg at 1-800-264-1661 and ask for the Buzz discount. Remember, if you're not using Sigma Supply, you've got low-grade product, man.
Tune in to Out of Bounds each Monday for Weekend Recap, brought to you by Fleet Management Services. Serving Central Arkansas for over 20 years, they're your small to mid-sized fleet specialists that also takes care of our fleet at Signal Media. Fleet Management Services is now hiring for Loop Tech, Tire Tech, and Light Maintenance. 8 paid holidays and paid vacation, paid health insurance, and 401k. Paid depends on experience and signing bonus. Apply in person at 901 East 8th Street in Little Rock.
Mike Elko, in his first season as the A&M coach, he's going to win the Southwest Classic over Arkansas. Razorbacks have outgained him by about 80 yards. but it's not going to matter at the end of the day. Texas A&M's going to walk out of here with a 4-point win. The Aggies move to 4-1. The Razorbacks drop to 3-2. Arkansas falls by 4 in Arlington.
All right, we are back to wrap it up. Say so long and good night, Marcus Elliott, Trey Schapp. I'm Randy Rainwater. Either 6 or 6:30 next week.
Probably 6:30.
I'm guessing 6:32. That would make it a ESPN game. Is that correct?
I believe so. I would have to look back and see what the scenarios were for this week.
I think that's correct. I don't think it's going to be on ABC. I think that's to be safe. I think that is the other window that this was possibly slated for. And we may get as high as the number 3 rated team in the country with maybe one of the best offenses in the entire country. They're outscoring people, so it was similar as we saw. Now they did. I forget the numbers they put up against Oklahoma. Tennessee did.
It's not going to be an ABC game, I don't think, guys. I think it's going to be ESPN.
Yeah.
The other ABC window, well, it's probably going to be that Miami game, Miami at Cal.
Why would that be an ABC game? I thought
ESPN. They've got the ACC as well.
Oh, they do. Okay.
How did Tennessee turn it around so quick? That program was headed the wrong direction.
They spent $6 million.
There you go.
$6 million for this quarterback.
The what? Oh, yeah. The quarterback's worth it, but the coach is worth it too.
Heupel.
Josh Heupel.
Yep.
Got
Central
UCF
Florida
rolling,
yep.
And basically, hey, they went a year undefeated. They didn't win the national championship, but they beat
Chris
Auburn.
Kane said they did.
Yeah. They beat Auburn and claimed a national championship. They didn't get to play in the national championship game. But, yeah, Colorado went down there and beat them today. UCF, that is.
Beat them pretty good.
In the bounce house. Yeah.
So we should expect, I would think, a
ESPN 6:30.
Yep, 6:30 start. They'll announce that tomorrow. But move our little platform then to Fayetteville. We'll be at Walk-Ons next Saturday night. Whew, that will be late, Trey, now that I think about it.
Be a late one.
Good gracious. It'll be after midnight, probably before we get on the air. But anyway.
Hopefully we're on the air before midnight.
Yeah. It's going to be close.
Oh, wow.
Going to be close.
Take my little kitty nap there.
Get all the rest you can get, my friend. Get all the rest you can get. All right, we're going to say so long and good night for Trey Schapp. For Marcus Elliott, I'm Randy Rainwater. Thanks for tuning in to the First Security 5th Quarter Post Game Show. Have a great rest of the weekend. So long, everybody.